look at this. The line is crazy. This is crazy, yo. All for them turkeys. All for those dinners. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy, extra stupid line. You know what I'm saying? I'm in the self-checkout joint. It's still ridiculous. Look at this joint. That's crazy, man. Crazy, yo. Y'all going crazy over this stuff, man. For real, I ain't got no business in here, you know what I'm saying? I had to just pick up a few items, you know what I mean? I had to just pick up a few items, you know what I mean? Like vegetable, shortening, got them, you know what I'm saying? Got a vegetable broth, tamari right here, you know what I'm saying? Red, yellow, orange peppers, white onions, green beans. I ain't even had to get that much, man. I gotta sit in this line, man. This is ridiculous. Look at this shit, man. For real. Man, it's crazy, yo. That shit. So, I was in the grocery store. Of course, you saw that. They were going crazy, man. You know, I was ready to get out of there. It's Thanksgiving. Everybody's rushing to get to the grocery store and get, you know, last minute items that they need for Thanksgiving dinner. And I happened to be in a self-checkout line. It had to be about 20 people in front of me, you understand? And, you know, so I go and check out. You know, hold on. Hear me out. I go to check out and everything. You know, I'm bringing up my stuff, and then this dude came by and he was like, yo, what's up, man? You know, keep it going. And I'm kind of confused. And then I was like, oh, I know what he's talking about. He's talking about my channels. He's like, yo, you're doing a good job. Keep up the good work. And I was like, yo, I appreciate it, man. I don't know your name. I didn't get your name, but overall, much respect to you, man. And I appreciate, you coming up to me and let me know that I'm doing a good job. And, I'm trying to do my best, you know what I'm saying? And that's just to help people in general. So in this particular video, we're going to talk about, Charlotte's weather, or just the South's weather, because really from North Carolina all the way down to Florida. So that's North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia. We all have the same weather. You know what I'm saying? We may differ in 5 degrees less or more. You understand? It may be 60 degrees in Atlanta and 55 in Charlotte. Or it may be 73 in Charlotte and 68 in Atlanta. You understand? But for the most part, we have the same type of weather. At least these 3 states that I mentioned. That's North Carolina, South Carolina, and Georgia. Now, Florida, of course, is different. I've heard, this myth going around, especially in the North, where the Northerners would sit back and say that I don't want to live in the South because it's hot all the time, and that's not true. You understand? The place that's really, or rather the state that's really hot year long is Florida. And really, it's not the whole state, because Jacksonville and Tallahassee, which is right where Georgia and Florida state line meet, it gets cold. In mid Florida, where Orlando is, and Kissimmee, in that area, it's it's lukewarm. The area that you're talking about, far as it being hot year long, is South Florida, Fort Lauderdale, Miami, and Florida Keys. That's where you can go in January, February, or whatever month throughout the year, and it's gonna be hot. You could go to the beach and all the rest of that, right? But for the most part, this is a myth. The South is not hot year long. Really, technically, the South only has 3 seasons. That's summer, winter, and spring. That's it. I'll go as far as to say this. We have 2 springs. So we have winter, then we have spring, and then we have summer. And I wouldn't even call our fall. I would call it spring. because that's the type of weather we get, like spring type weather from September all the way into like late October. You understand? I'm a fan of flip-flops. And I know how, some men may rate me. They may say, well, I'm feminine because I wear flip-flops. Yeah, you can kiss my ass with that. I'm 100% man, masculine, alpha man. You understand? But at the end of the day, I like wearing flip-flops because when it gets hot, my feet sweat. And I want my feet to breathe. I'm not the type of person to be wearing Timbs and Air Force Ones and Jordans. That's not me. So if I'm not joning on you or joking on you or however you want to put it, jonesing on you or whatever, don't do the same thing to me. You understand? Because I wear flip-flops to keep my feet, like breathing. They can breathe in the summertime. You understand? So I wear my flip-flops all the way up to like the end of October. And then, like, seriously, this happens every year. Now, I've lived in Atlanta, and it happens in Atlanta. And I also live in Charlotte, and technically I could drive like a couple minutes from here and I'll be in South Carolina. So I'm speaking on behalf of these 3 states, right? Every year, like close to the end of October, it rains. So like prior to it raining, right? That one time at the end, it's like, yo, seriously, it can rain several times within the month of October, but basically at the end of October, it rains twice. You understand? So the first time prior to it raining, it's like in the late 70s, right? And then once it rains, close to the end of October, that is, that first time, it'll knock the temperature down 10 degrees less. So for a couple of weeks, you'll have your like 68, 67, 65s, your 60s, right? Your high 60s, right? And then the second time, which it'll rain like in like the beginning of the month of November, that's when it knocks the temperature all the way down. That's when you get your highs in 55, 56, 58, or whatever have you. This week after Thanksgiving, and going into the next week, we're gonna be in like the high 50s, low 60s. You understand? So from November to I say January, it's not spring, it's not fall, it's cold. It's kind of warm, lukewarm, in the like in the afternoon. So like from 12 to about 2, whatever the high is that day, that's what it's going to be. So for example, if they say the high is going to be 72 tomorrow, right? It'll be 72 from 12 o'clock to about 2:33. And that's when the temperature will drop. So they'll say that the low is going to be like 34. So when you wake up early in the morning, like you trying to go to work, you know what I'm saying? Like about 6, 7 o'clock in the morning, it's going to be like 30 something. So in the mornings, the temperature is rising up to your 71 at 12 o'clock to about 2 something or 3. And then from after 3, the temperature is declining because the sun is, setting. You understand? So that's the way the weather works. So after, I'll say between January and mid-March is when you get your coldest weather. And we haven't had snow in like years. Not any type of big time snow. That's another thing. We don't get snow like that. If it snows here, the same day it snows is the same day the snow melts. If and when we do get a snowstorm, the whole state shuts down. There's no schools open, jobs, none of that. And part of the reason why it shuts down is because we don't have enough trucks to like put salt everywhere, whatever have you. We don't have the type of, equipment and stuff like that, like New York may have in the South. So you can it. If you're living in North Carolina, South Carolina, and Georgia, and it snows, it's a big snowstorm, it's over. And that goes for an ice storm too. Now, we'll get ice storms. You understand? And you definitely have to watch out for black ice. Black ice is ice that you can't see. There's several accidents that happen, early in the morning because people are trying to go get to work, drop their children off to school or whatever have you. Next thing you know, people getting wrecked because it's black ice. You can't see it. For the most part, after like mid-March going into April, that's when, the temperatures start to rise a little bit. You'll get your 60s again, your 60s and your 70s. In April, I'm still not wearing shorts. It's still like weather that, you don't know whether it may be 58 that day or 74 or 75. You understand? It's still cool in the morning times and it's still cool when the sun sets. You could wear like a light jacket in the morning and at night, but it's still, to me, it's still not short, wearing shorts weather. Now, it's no disrespect. I'm not trying to be a racist or nothing like that, so don't take this shit, wrong. White people, on the other hand, they pulling out their shorts like in mid-March. But white people always wear shorts regardless. It could be 30 degrees outside, they wearing shorts. You understand? But for the most part, I'll say, us minorities are not wearing shorts in April. Around May, that's when it starts to get like in its 80s, and then you can roll down the windows or whatever have you in the morning time and, later in the night because it's not cold outside anymore. You understand? Your lows are dipping down in May, probably about 60, 63 or something like that. The highs in May is like 85, 86. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I say in the middle of May, close towards the end of May, that's when I start, changing my wardrobe or my closet. You know what I'm saying? I'm transitioning. I'm taking all my, long sleeve shirts, jackets and all of that stuff, and I'm putting it in the attic. And I'm taking the clothes down from the attic and putting my shorts and my short sleeve shirts out, flip-flops and all of that stuff. By Memorial Day, the day after Memorial Day, for those that believe in God, for real, this is my word, it's as if God turned the light switch on and said, hey, boom, here go your 90s. So after Memorial Day, it's 90s. So from late May into late June, it's like 92, 93. You understand? And then from July to August, it's they call them dog days. And see, the thing of it is in the summer, right? Being in North Carolina is dry land. You understand? Dry land is like, there's hardly any lakes in the state of North Carolina. And if they are, they're really small. You understand? Like in Charlotte, we have 2 lakes. Well, technically 1. So we have Lake Norman, and then the other one is in Lake Wiley, which is minutes away from where I live at. Other than that, we don't have any other lakes around here, right? There are a lot of man-made lakes in the state of North Carolina, but they're not big enough to like, bring moisture into the air. You understand? So when the sun hits this dry land, you're inhaling dry air. There's no moisture in the air because there's no water around. So it's a different type of heat. You understand? South Carolina is somewhat of the same. I'll say Georgia's kind of different. It does get hot. I mean, especially in Atlanta. I mean, they call it hot Atlanta for a reason. But I would beg to differ far as people saying that Atlanta is hotter than North Carolina. I would say no. The reason why is because Atlanta is covered in trees. It's trees everywhere. And then it's lakes everywhere. You know what I'm saying? So you're able to breathe. Now, the only time that you're not able to breathe in Atlanta, and this is my word, it's only one time. And that's when it rains, and it rains a lot in the summertime. You understand? That's when it rains, and then the sun comes out, and it's that heat and moisture and no, it's not that you can't breathe. It's so hot to you, it's sticky, and you're like, oh. Now that's everywhere when the summer, the summer hits. But in Atlanta, it just seemed like it's something different. You understand? And that's another thing, thunderstorms that you have to watch out for. Tornadoes, hurricanes, but it's not that often. The last time a hurricane came around here, a tornado, was years. I can't even remember. Like, you know what I'm saying? It didn't hit. I think it might have been about 3 years ago or something like that. And it hit land, and it knocked a few poles down. People didn't have electricity. That's normal when thunderstorms occur in the state of North Carolina, or just in the South. Period. You're kind of, excuse my expression, you're fucked if you don't have a generator. Your power is out. You have to worry about your food stale, going stale, your water, your milk spoiling. That's why it's best like to buy water, and, make sure that you have a grill. You understand? So that you can, basically a one of those gas grills. You understand? So you can heat up your food and all the rest of that stuff. Make sure that you have, some canned food or dry food. You know what I'm saying? I eat quinoa, black rice, wild rice. I eat a lot of beans, lentils, green lentils, yellow lentils. You understand? Red lentils. So have that stuff on deck just in case you have a power outage. And it may last for a couple hours, or anywhere between a couple hours or a week. You never know. You understand? What else am I missing? So I talked about the winters. I talked about the summers. I talked about like it not being fall. Winter clothes. Every now and then you might need to wear some long johns. I keep them on deck. I was born in New York. I've lived my younger years in New York. I went back and lived in New York as a young adult. You understand? So I know how to prepare myself for the winters. A lot of the stuff that you would wear in the northern states, you don't really necessarily need it here. A prime reason is because of the fact that a lot of us drive. There's no massive transportation here in any of the southern states, whether it be from the Mason-Dixon on down. You know what I'm saying? Virginia, Washington D.C. has a pretty decent transit system, but I say Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, Florida, Mississippi, Alabama, and in Texas. You understand? And it's crazy because I'm just now finding out that when people talk about the South, they take North Carolina out of it as if North Carolina is not the South. And part of the South is Alabama, Mississippi, and Texas, which I never knew. I thought that was kind of like the Midwest or whatever happened. You understand? But there's no massive transportation system in any of those states. So you definitely you're gonna need a car. You understand? So you really don't need a heavy jacket because you're not like walking like how you would walk in New York. You understand? So like I had a big ass North Face jacket. I sold it, a couple years back because I didn't need it. You're not dealing with Antarctic weather. You're just not. You're not dealing with temperatures like I say it happened one time last year when it was, matter of fact, it was never 0. It was probably 18, 3 in the morning. But we've never had temperatures where it was 22, 5 o'clock in the afternoon. If it was that way, it was 5 years ago, and it lasted for 2 or 3 days, if that. You understand? Oh, I forgot to talk about the bipolar weather. I'm sorry, I apologize. Okay, so I gave you all how the winters are, the summers, and kind of in the springs, and the spring type weather in the fall that we supposedly have, right? Okay, so in between the fall spring weather that we have into the winter, we also have this bipolar weather. So it can be 1 week, it could be like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, it could be, the high could be 50, right? And then Thursday, it'll be 75. And then Friday, it'll be 60. And then Saturday, it'll be 42. And then Sunday, it'll be 73. Like that type of weather, I would say just dress appropriate, meaning that still wear your long sleeve sweaters and, shirts and stuff like that, and a jacket if need be, because that bipolar weather will make you sick if you dress like as if it's actually, spring and it's that 75 degree weather spring. You understand? Because you got to, like I told you before, 75 in the wintertime, right? It's going to be 75 from 12 in the afternoon to about 2:33. After like 3:30, it's going to the temperature's going to drop. I'm talking about 10 degrees or more per hour. So you're going to walk out there, right, with shorts on, short sleeve shirt, right? 75 degrees outside. Yo, it's a warm day, blah, 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 blah. And you're going to be far away from home, because once you get down here in Charlotte, I'll say at least the city of Charlotte, you're going to find out that Charlotte is widespread. So, like, say, for example, if you were living in Ballantyne, right? You're going to drive all the way up to the university area. You're going to chill, you know what I'm saying? You might mess around and your friend might cook out or something, right? And then next thing you know, you staying until 6 o'clock. And that's a no-no. Because you're going to have to wear the shorts and t-shirt and all that stuff. You're going to have to drive back like that. Now, of course, you could turn the heat all the way up and all of that shit, but you got to get in the car, and then you got to get out of it. So I would advise you, for those that are going to live in the South, and like I said, this happens in Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, and northern parts of the state of Florida. And also Mississippi and Alabama. I don't know about Louisiana. I forgot to mention them too. I don't know about Louisiana and Texas. But definitely those states, it's bipolar weather. You understand? So for the most part, I just wanted to clear up that, the South doesn't get, it's not hot year long. It does get cold. It will snow. We will have, ice storms and stuff like that. If and when we do, all of the states, that's not just North Carolina, that's Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, Mississippi, Alabama. I don't know about Louisiana and Texas, you know what I'm saying? But those states, they're going to shut it down. You understand? Other than that, I hope that I helped you all out. Stay tuned for the next video that I'm going to do. I'm going to drive around Charlotte and just show you all murals and artwork, around the city. I'll probably do that tomorrow. Expect for that video to be out, tomorrow night. You understand? Other than that, I want you all to like, comment, subscribe, and definitely share this video.